All right, we are live. Cool. Make sure. Check the sound. Stay with me. All right. There we go. Good. All right. Let's wait for some folks to get in here. Thanks all for tuning in. When you're not in the now, but in another now. Love my flute. 10. Yay, got notified at last. Way to go, Max. Hello, Lucia. Hey, Gaia. Hi, baby. Hey, Sheena. Oh, Sheena. All right, good. Let me get that. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and he had an epiphany, and I wanted to talk about that epiphany. Realization, maybe this will offer some insight about reality. So let's all do our best to not be reactive and listen to the idea that's attracted into your world. And of course, the choosing is always done by you. And how you relate to those choices and interaction is your experience. We know that. We got that well in hand, right? So I wrote this as the opposition is you, all right? So I want to draw this, and I'm going to use. Where's the other? Oh, I'm going to use this right here. I'm going to draw the little markers, and we're going to get nice little idea of this so we can have a visual of it. So let's say that you are C, the creator, right? And you're incarnating P, A, D, okay? Pleiadian, Arcturian, maybe a Draconian, doesn't matter. So the human is over here in the now, right? Doesn't matter. Let's not get into details. That's the opposition. That's the identity, okay? So the creator is creating itself, its own incarnations, okay? From the collective, from the singular of you, relax. You count. You're not going to get lost in nirvana. I am, all right? Trust, all right? So let's stick with that. So this human has a point of view that doesn't know it's this, all right? This might be elementary from you, for some of you, but I don't think so. There's always a gain in reality of concept, and it may not be directly associated, but it's still associated in the now of constant change. So don't look at this in any fashion that you know it, okay? So the human experience is do your best. The human experience is opposition. Now, what I mean by that, it's opposing itself. And what is itself? What's attracted? Go back to the law. The all are one, the one are all. You're always attracting the all and an infinite number of singularities that the all represents. But everyone in the now that shows up in your now is attracted to that moment. They're not there as a haphazard idea. They are in their own universe. Remember, let's go back to Bashar and Abraham and all the the work that's been laid out as a foundation before us, to know that we are the only ones in our universe. That's our point of view. We're not lonely. We're not empty. We're one and all. We're all of creation, right? We have our point of view, our truth. So you're looking at the all as opposition, right? Now, I want you to look at polarity. Polarity is how we experience the opposition. The opposition is the value of ourselves as not God, and in not God, we discovered measuring not God experiences in a way of good and bad and everything in between. So polarity isn't the fucking standard. Unconditional is the standard, which means there's no opinion about it. An opinion is an opposition about it. It's a take on reality that is opposing itself. It's looking outside of itself. It's externalism. It's objectivity. When everything flowing to you is an experience as yourself. And we, like the Pleiadians and Arcturians and the Draconians, are experiencing it their way, that particular entity's way in that particular incarnation. I'm sure that the Andromedan and the Arcturians and the Pleiadians and any other species is quite unique to the species as well as quite unique to the incarnation and the one that's incarnating, the creator of that. So let's say over here in the P's, there's 10 billion Pleiadians. They're all experiencing the Pleiadian experience differently because there's 10 billion individuals experiencing that. Let's not get caught up on how it works. Look, you guys are smart enough. Human-wise, we're all bricks. We're fucking dumber than doorknobs. Whatever value education is to make you look and feel smart is whoever is in charge giving you that creed. Right? You're an Einstein at 1 + 1, but you're not smart at creation. You're using the human dynamic of opposition to label creation, and you think that you can figure it out. We don't need to do that. We don't need to understand it from a logical point of view on how to lay it out and who these people are and all that. Because to me, that's a distraction of the thinking mind looking for opposition. Right back to the habit itself of the human experience. The human experience is not God, right? So I'm born as a creator, incarnation as a human, from the creator of wholeness, my kingdom, I am. And the point of view I have about the experience is an emptiness, a feeling of separation, of not God. And through that, I experiencing opposing moms and dads and rights and wrongs and these and those and that's. I wonder how the Pleiadians experience. Do they experience an objectivity? Do they label? Do they call things? I mean, I'm wondering how we know if our only source of knowing what everyone else's experience is the only thing we all know. Because we're human. We're experiencing the human evolution. So let's not make our standard everyone else's standard. Let's not put big monster masks or monkey masks on everything else. Let's mind our own fucking business and get to the internal world and see how it works here. Because all of this and all that, this and that, that's just distraction. So you know now that you are opposing yourself. Now, it doesn't mean you take action to love it and be it and jump on board with it. That's another idea of positioning. It's a positioning of yourself, hang on, in an attitude or an approach, okay? So what does that mean? If like some guy's an asshole, and then you're like, I attracted an asshole, I must be an asshole, so you have to accept you're an asshole. No, you're taking the identity and labeling it as you. You don't take the opposition. You understand the relationship as the interaction resistance to that opposition. and understand that's the human point of view about that for one reason only a reason. If you need a fucking reason when creation is unreasonable, if you need one, well, because it's the human experience of not God. Because if you didn't have a condition about a behavior, then you wouldn't oppose it. It doesn't mean you love it. It means if you didn't love it as in preference, it wouldn't show up in your vibrational reality of attraction. But since you're labeling reality, okay, let's make it subjective. Since I was labeling reality, what the fuck's in my world is a cause or an effect or good or bad, then didn't I experience that horse shit? Yes. Then I start seeing that's my belief system. Then I was like, what about the stuff I don't like? Maybe I still need to look at that. It's not that I do not like it or don't like it. I don't prefer it. Maybe that was an excuse of my evolution. But then I started looking at it a little deeper and I was like, this is still here because I keep choosing that vibrational behavior. Stop. I was trying to fix the mirror by accepting the belief system and surrendering to, which was awesome. But what I was missing was I was keep on feeding it. And then one day I said, oh, just fucking stop. You know, you never have to answer an email, ever. You never need to answer your phone, ever. You don't need to do the things that you absolutely behavioral react to on a daily basis because there's no one in charge of your universe. And it's only a belief system that's selling you a story. What's the difference? The discernment of spirits. That's the difference. The passion, you do it without cause. The reaction, you do it for reasoning. And then you know. But that's the ultimate idea about the evolution, is to get to know yourself. You enlighten your kingdom by acting, behaving on the truth of you in the moment. Not in time, not consequences, not fears, not, oh, well, if I do this and what happens if this happens and maybe I'll do this and what do I do then? Get out of time. I've kicked your ass across the state of fucking Texas enough times to, you got to live in the goddamn now. Okay? So you're in the now and you get that idea and you see yourself react. And that's enlightenment, because now you're seeing a belief system. And then instead of taking the behavioral vibrational truth, attracting that kind of frequency, it doesn't mean the details. It's the state of being, the relationship to the now. Then you continue that frequency, or if you don't behave in that aspect, like just stopping, saying no, doing a thing that you know in your fearful fucking mind, selling you a story of absolute failure, you choose it anyway, and then you vibrate in a frequency of truth and you discover yourself, called evolution. That's what I named it. And if you look at reality, it's always shown up. So there was a class one time that when we were doing master classes, this entity channel says, I don't need your thanks. I don't need your gratitude. I don't need your envy or your revere. I need minions. And he wanted us to see that we are the minions of the kingdom. So let's look at this. Let's look at this without subjectifying it to a memory and an identity. So let's be the neutrality of the now, not empty neutral, just allowance. All of you are in my kingdom right now because you are my minions, but I don't own you, and I sure as fuck don't enslave you. You've shown up without effort, and you're interacting with the vibrational truth of me. The perfection of the now is absolutely undisputed. The disputed part is the reaction of the opposing fractal, the separated self, the human that thinks it's not God. and putting God out there, putting source or spirit as someone in charge of you. There can't be anyone in charge of one. There's only one in all. Your kingdom is one. Be in that subjective universe, my truth, my action, my thing. I am fucking doing this for 9 years and I'm still fucking here and I'm only more awesome. I'm only fucking better. Okay, there was no downside, there's no failure because I'm not looking to make this an outcome. What I'm doing is being myself in the now over and over again if I put it in time. But then I realize my own opposition by being my truth. And if my truth evolves into a new truth, then I have to let go of that rung of the ladder so I can fucking climb out of my own prison that I created for the experience of separation. I can't feel good or bad if I don't have opposition. We don't get the human experience if we don't separate. Then it's like every other fucking species that's connected. They're not kidding. In my world, the world that I attracted, the information that we are at a masterclass is not a fucking joke. You know how I know that? Because everything in existence is true. It's all true. But how is it true to the individual is where the work is really understood. Your truth, no one else's. You don't need comfort. You don't need security. You need those things as a fractal that's afraid. You need certainty and security. Look what they sell. Look what humanity sells each other. Fear, pain, loathing, fixing, betterment. All the time, it's the polarity distraction. Small pile of shit, you suck. Big pile of shit, you're horrible. And you're only jumping between the two to try to keep yourself above water. Effort. And then you dwindle into this fucking spineless codfish dying to get out of the fucking game because you have no worth. But you're true, aren't you? You're here. You must exist. You must be law one in order to have this experience. Whatever the other experiences are, let's not get distracted. Let's go to work in the kingdom. I see it like this. I'm in a kingdom. I got my own throne, and my throne is mine, and my kingdom is mine, and I get to put things and do things that are in my measure in the now. I build my kingdom. I've tore it all apart. I think I've said this a few times, but it was 2014 when I channeled Osifius. He said, what you are is a foundation, isness. That's an absolute emptiness. It's an opposition, but yet it is still a foundation, a kingdom, a singular point of existence, because the creator creates the point of view, right? We incarnate as the human. So the creator is not absent. The experience is opposition, so it's absent from itself. So we've been taking blueprints of other people's truths, the truth of humanity from perspectives, and those truths are opposing. I mean, look at the religions of the world, look at the political aspects, look at the take on masks or no masks. It's a train wreck of fucking brilliance. It's the experience of opposition that we continue to give ourselves over and over again as a human collective until we enlighten and wake up and see and change that, and not look at the outside as the truth, but look at the relationship to the outside the way you are true to it. And when it's no longer serviceable, masters, what do? You don't open the goddamn door anymore. You don't answer the phone. You don't feed that reality. I'm going to make a point about the now, and we're going to get to that in a second. But I want you to see that the work of enlightenment is self-realization. And the journey home is as if you never left. But we're so opposite of ourselves, we think that that is law over us. So this foundation, these blueprints of religions and truths are keeping us opposed, and we didn't know anything else. And then what we have to do is tear down the castle, destroy it. I've ripped myself apart so you understand you can do it. Not for me in the idea, or not for you in the idea. I did it for me. The byproduct is you. You get to see a light that works. If it doesn't work for you, have a Coke and a fucking smile. Go, because you're fine. You know why? You're law one. And how you interact with the now is your experience, your existence, experiencing the here and now your way. That's the key. There's no one else in charge of you except you. So there's no opposing until you put the opposition up. And that's the castle that I had to destroy. The unworthiness to back to worthiness. The ideas that I had to and I need to, and if not, this is going to happen. Man, I was so scared, but I'm not scared anymore. I can't be scared of creation because I don't have those filters. They're not there. I can't feel polarity because the separation isn't there. So I can't feel good or bad. I'm immeasurable. The motion you have instead of emotion is unnameable. It's only discoverable. I went through emptiness. I had no kingdom. I had no purpose. I don't know what to do with myself. All the fucking things. And then realizing, hey, I'm here. I'm enough. And I'm now. And you start to react or interact and rather than react with your reality. And you start making these tiny little weird fucking changes, behavioral changes that attract this light, and this door opens and this door opens. But the human's looking for the solution. I want to know when it's going to end. When am I going to get the proof? When's the magic going to happen? And that's lack itself. And that keeps you vibration. You got to stop the behavior that lives outside of you and lives outside of the now. And it's a master class. They weren't fucking kidding, man. Apparently, we're really good at evolving species. The humans you see here are good at evolving. No matter what the fuck they're saying, that they're here for a reason and a purpose, and humans need help and all that shit, that's horseshit. You can have that shit. To me, that's fucking bullshit. We came here to hone the craft of evolution, of ascending a species. So here comes the master class. And only ones that are real fucking good at evolution, at evolving other species, signs up. And we did. To know ourselves as not God. Opposite. So I was looking at creation as a problem because I was identifying it. Mom does this, dad does this, religion says this, government will do, if you want this, police force says that, this is a law, you'll get in trouble, and what about this, and if you don't, this will happen, and oh my God, I want to kill my fucking self, I want to slit my wrists, I want to end it, fuck you motherfuckers. And no one gives a fuck when you do it. Because you're doing it for yourself. Oh, they might be sad for a day or two, but they'll be vacuuming next week. They'll be right back to work. They'll be taking care of themselves. Won't they? See, you're like taking a bucket of water and put your hand in there and pull it out. And there's some waves, but then it's still as glass again, smooth, right? You don't fucking matter. You can't matter to the opposition because the opposition is your truth, your point of view for the internal kingdom of I am. Make sense? Let me talk about something else real quick on the now. Happy Saturday, by the way. Okay. I think I went over this before. I want to give you an idea about this, okay? So let's call this the here and the now. This is your bubble of reality. All this, again, is memory. Everything outside of the here and the now is a memory. Why is the light weird again? Thank you. Okay. So here and now. H and N, here and now, right? That's where you've always been. We experience time through memory, right? So if we're experiencing and focusing on not now, we're experiencing the here and now, through a memory, which is soliciting an emotional event. Could be positive, it could be negative. That's irrelevant. Positive, negative is a result of opposition as part of the experience, right? Just like if you're experiencing a flower, you're getting the fragrance, right? It's part of experiencing the flower, okay? So polarity is a part of that. But in the here and the now, let's look at the memory. When you validate those things, but they're not here in the now, you keep them alive. I was talking to someone the other day and they wouldn't shut the fuck up about their past. They would keep positioning themselves, labeling themselves, calling themselves this and calling others that, this and that and this and this and that and that and this and that and this and this and that and that and this. And all they're doing is living their here and now, which is a constant, right? Change is the only constant except for the first four laws. Law 2 is everything is here and now. So you're always fucking right here and right now, right? So in that, you are energizing memories. It's not right or wrong. That's how you create your reality. And how you emotionalize those memories is the now experience of forever. And we're not going to stop feeling. We just don't feel polarized anymore. But you're still going to have a relationship to the now, right? So if you're in the here and now, then you've got scary fucking memories. And then someone does this to you, and then you take the now, right? You take the now memory and you shoot it off into the future because this is what they did and this is what might happen. So in the now, you're still now and interacting with the future that's not interacting in the now in the way of happening in the physical reality playing out. What's happening in your still now, maybe in your fucking living room, thinking about the futures, thinking about this big old F over here, F for future. It's really shitty handwriting, isn't it? Oh my God. So anyways, so the future, but it's not happening. So you spend time, right? You really literally create and spend time in the not now that's now. And those things were taught. They were reinforced. It's no one's fault. It's part of the experience, guys. You got to stop playing the victim to what's going on. You got to look at it from the intelligence of you, not the logic of you. Fuck logic. Use intelligence. That's the inner knowing of all that fucking is, what you have access to every day. Right? But you usually look for knowledge, which is logical knowledge, to solve a problem, and the relationship turns to lack because then you become a need and you're enough. You're all that is. But you're using the fractal of I'm not enough, I need, so you vibrate frequency of lack and try to control your reality and get a solution. You don't need a solution because everything is here and now. You got to trust it. But that takes work. That takes trust. That takes choosing yourself to get to know yourself. And again, don't ask the fucking question, how do I know? The answer is you don't. And you'll never know because it's only you and your universe, and you're the only one who can discover your truth. Stop letting people tell you your truth. You're all grown up now. You can get off of the playground. You can start to mature and be worthy to be a God again, a creator, and I am. And you've never left it. Make sense? So these things that you fear, lots of fear that they told you. Well, if you don't do this, you don't do this. If you don't get a good education, you're going to do this. If you don't do this, this is going to happen. And they sold you a bill of goods of pain, and we all bought into it in our own fashion, in our own degree. I bought into a lot of fear. I was so scared of everything, you know? And I had this underlying feeling of when it would get too much, I would react. And obviously, you guys, a lot of you know, I lose my fucking mind and anger comes out or rage comes out. So I always had that reaction and to to dissolve the situation of fear. So that was an ally a lot of the times to help me through those fearful times. If it all said fuck it, I would just say fuck it. Let's see what happens. And then I discovered none of that shit happens. Because it's a here and now. It's not a there and then. You know? So you work on these things. You work on these things from an intelligent point of view. You stop putting it outside of yourself. Are those truths true? Yes. Are your belief systems valid? Absolutely. People call this an illusion. I don't think it's an illusion. I think it's a reality. I think it's a goddamn good reality, and I would want reality to continue to be this forever because I am. And that's what it is to me. The illusion is me bullshitting myself. Maybe that's better. I lied to myself all the time, but I didn't know I was telling myself lies. They were true, but they weren't my truth anymore, like True Lies. Oh, that was a great movie, wasn't it? Oh my God, I love that movie. Anyways, so that truth is no longer mine because I recognize the enlightenment. I'm enlightening my kingdom. It's my belief systems that I'm building and now realizing and now destroying. And what's there? Attraction. The next true self, the return home. Don't think about it as an outcome or a distance. Think about your worthiness. Think about you're not a mistake. Think about I'm worth it. Look, people want to control you and dominate you, not out of purpose, out of dependency. And if you show them that they're enough by you taking the enough in you and choosing your truth, and you allow people to start to choose their kingdom. Oh, they might hate you, they might react to you, but it gives them light. I promise you, it gives them light. It gives them their own enlightenment to see another being themselves without the predicated ideas of outcome or purpose or positioning themselves to be admired or envied because they don't know their own existence supersedes all of those things that can be objectified as value. Isn't that fantastic? So the opposition, opposing side, that's you looking at yourself, creation. Seeing the separation is belief systems. How you interact with the belief systems is polarity if you use emotions. You stop using emotions because you deconstruct those belief systems. And then you get motion. And polarity isn't there because opposition is not there. Isn't that fun? I think it's good. And I think you deserve it. And I think you can choose it, and I think you can be it, and I think you can do the work. But let me tell you something. One more thing before we skip along Fandango. It takes a lot of humility, more than I realized. You know? Listen to this, my voice. People tell me my voice is in their head. They hear Roxanne saying this. How about this? Shut the fuck up. That's one, it's good for you. When you diarrheaing of the mouth, you need to shut the fuck up and observe yourself going off on a tangent. When you claim the outside as an identity, you're valuing a truth. That's energizing. This is Abraham 101. You're keeping that in your vortex, right? Stop looking at the details. Stop looking at the labeling itself. It's that you are energizing the not now identity, the opposition. So when people are victimizing themselves and then they're heroing themselves, that's what you guys need to see in yourself. And if it's not there, don't worry about it. You've transcended it. And whenever it is shown in the mirror that shows up in your now, it's not a lesson, it's not a purpose. It's creation knowing itself. How you relate to that is always the same thing. Your truth, yourself, your evolution, your creator knowing yourself. Don't label it as a purpose or a meaning or a lesson or blah, 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 blah. I don't want to know. It's you, right? Be humble when you realize you're full of shit and you're bullshitting yourself. You're enough without that, but until you stop, then you'll never know what it feels like, not thinks like, not what you picture, what it feels like to be whole again, not opposing yourself, to take this opposite point of view and bring it back home and say, I am, right? Takes a lot of humility. Takes a lot of pain. It's always you. It's never anything else. No matter what your ego is selling you, it's never them. Sometimes it hurts. A lot of times it hurts. And when you know you're done with those that are no longer valuable to you, have the courage to not do it anymore. Because the only thing that's going to happen is life. And it ain't the life of fear, because that happens in the not now. And the only way it happens is in a reflection of your memory. That's where fear lives, in time, right? All right, guys. So I wanted to do that. Hi, everyone. Hi, honey, tuning in. Hey, Kat. Hey, there we go. Oh my God, I love you, right on point. Yes, very good. You look beautiful. Thank you. Practice preferred frequency light. Thank you. All right, everyone. I think I'll do for sure on the 28th, which is the end of the month. We're going to do the Sunday evening live. So look out for that. I'll put a thing up on the YouTube and it'll let you know on that. And then, like a upcoming event type of thing. And if I go live before then, it'll be a pop-up. So go rock your reality, go love yourself. And remember, the highest act of love possible is you. Love you. Love one. Love all. Right? Number one, not the outside. The opposition doesn't need to be loved. You do. I love you guys.